STAKK Nation, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Now, there's a lot going on in the Bitcoin and crypto space in the recent months. We have banks accumulating Bitcoin. We have big tech invading the crypto space altogether. And of course, we have regulations around the corner. November 8th to be precise, they said.
What?
But we can never be sure because they've already pushed it back.
Yeah.
These people are never on schedule. You know,
It's the government.
look, man, timeliness is close to godliness, but we're not going to go down that road. Today, we're going to check out some of the most impactful stories in the space. Double up. What do we have, sir?
Hey, at least we think that's what the most impactful news is. Check it out, people.
I think there is a pattern, and with the pattern, you can connect dots and see that there is impact to
Yeah.
be achieved. You know?
Yes.
Let's go.
Maximum impacts.
Hey, we were hoping for minimal impact in this situation, and maximum impact from the side of the retail investors is all
You
we
know what I'm
want.
saying?
Hey, all right.
We are the 99%. Okay, all right.
We are the cup full. I get ya. So, what is
All
happening?
right. Number one, Google Cloud to let users pay with Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin via Coinbase.
That's big.
Fire.
Yeah, that's absolutely. You know, for an environment we live in where there seems to
Yeah.
be this idea that Bitcoin will go to zero, or that crypto is whatever it is. People
It's a
have all
Ponzi
their-
scheme.
their
It's
take on
a
it.
decentralized Ponzi scheme. That's what you called it on the last video.
So, the decentralized Ponzi scheme, right? It seems to be a lot of activity going on from some major players to ensure that they are ready to accept crypto payments, even though regulations have not shown up yet. It's very interesting. Well,
I
what
think.
else?
No. Before I go, what else, real quick? I want to jump on this one real quick. Google has been really sneaky lately,
Right.
accumulating a bunch of Web3 technologies. The future
This is
Google is going to be on the blockchain. The future YouTube that you're watching right now, they already have the play ready, set, ready to go.
Isn't that what did they call it again? Odyssey? Something like that?
No, it's not Odyssey. Odyssey does its own thing too.
Odyssey?
No. Let's
Did
see.
not.
We have a
Google
channel
not
on
buy
there
it?
too, by the way. We just gotta
Google?
use it.
Google bought Odyssey did.
Yeah, Odyssey. Yes, you are right. Sorry, I was wrong.
Yeah, but I know what I'm talking about. Let's go. Carry on.
Yup. And pre-search. Apparently, Google is giving on pre-search right now, man. Sniffing them
really?
out. Yeah.
We'll see what
Yeah.
happens
Yeah, so don't be surprised out there. Number 2. Let me put that out. The king of them all. The gold lover.
then. Which one is that?
BNY Mellon.
Mellon. Wow. BNY Mellon launches Bitcoin Ethereum custody services for investment firms. That is interesting. From what I understand, I think this is a service that multiple exchanges, smaller exchanges, have been trying to do. They've sent applications, made requests, maybe lobbying to provide the same services, and have been waiting for over 2 years, more than 2 years. However, we have BNY Mellon, which is one of the biggest firms
Oldest.
out there, right?
Yeah.
They get into trying to
Space.
provide the same service, and was instantly approved for them. Instantly
Connections!
approved for- Think of it. There is a circle starting to form here. You have BNY Mellon, they get what they want. You have BlackRock, they
Yep.
get what they want.
Yep.
And these two, interestingly, are connected with Coinbase, who seems to get what it wants as well. So I think that is starting to shape up some sort of a picture.
I keep telling folks, man, BNY,
Yeah.
the oldest bank, the same guys that deceived you away from your value, from storing your own value and
Yeah.
giving it to the middlemen, to the banks. And now the one getting into the blockchain space, which goes, you educate yourself. Store your own value. You don't need a middleman.
Absolutely. You definitely, when it comes to banks at this point in time, okay, I could see a use for banks back in the day when you had to carry around cash and coins
Gold.
and things like that and gold.
Yeah.
And someone could roll up to your place of business or your house and physically take.
Show me your money.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Big
With the revolvers, man. Cowboy. Pow, pow.
Right? Big gunpowder activity. But at this point in time, where you can digitally store your wealth, self-custody your own wealth digitally, it's essentially going back to cash in a digital format. If you self-custody your bitcoins, if you put your bitcoins on a ledger, if you put your bitcoins on a decentralized wallet, there's Moon Wallet out there, there's Blue Wallet out there, that money is going to stay there. You will wake up the next day and it's going to be there, and over again. It will never disappear. So at this point in time, it seems that giving the banks your money is just a bunch of guys who are going, hey, I'm a bank, let me hold your money for no reason.
Oh no! They have objectives with your money.
Well, that's what I'm saying is from a consumer standpoint, right?
Yeah.
From a consumer standpoint, there is no reason. You're literally giving these people your money just because they're a bank. They claim, I know people will sit here and tell you like, oh well, they're credible, they're an institution that they've been around forever. Okay, well, I'll tell you what else they also have a track record of making sure that you stay broke, making significantly more money on your money, and you're not seeing the same returns. Right? If someone is investing my money, I want some of it. It's just normal. It's not
A huge amount of it too.
It's
huge
business.
cuts. Yeah.
Exactly. And of course, we've seen the whole situation where if maybe it's a pension fund, 401k, whatever the case may be, it will crash.
Yep.
So there is no
inflation.
There is no purpose. There is no function. There is no reasonable use of energy behind banks. When you see how much energy consumption comes from running these institutions itself, right? Buildings.
Drive into any major city, they have the biggest buildings,
Right.
biggest
so
and tallest buildings.
There we go. So you have massive buildings. You have all these computers that have to run unnecessarily at every location. And then, of course, you have to also maintain a website, right, and all this other stuff. Then you have
Security.
your all the other infrastructure, security.
Giant trucks
that
to
is
move the paper
required.
around.
It seems to me that given the state that we're in right now, where everything is digital, their use of energy is not as justified as the use of energy for Bitcoin, which will mean that these are the guys who need to stop so that we can save the environment.
Boom. Fire.
Okay? But we'll carry on then. It seems that as this is happening as well, because I think there is what is it? MasterCard as well.
Oh,
We're also
MasterCard is
trying to
next
get
on the
into
list.
space.
Yes, sir.
All right. So we're seeing MasterCard. I mean, this is one of the most massive, I think, besides Visa, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the biggest payment system around. So you have MasterCard looking to make cryptocurrencies an everyday way to pay. Of course, we have a lot of crypto services that have already been trying to work on cards and things like that. But MasterCard is hopping on board.
MasterCard is like one of the biggest transaction service provider
Exactly. Globally. So besides them, of course, you also have Visa as well. And it's if you look at the trend, I think one thing the reason we're talking about all of this is because if you look at this trend, it seems that adoption, right, or at least there is a massive, how would you say, foundation being laid, right, for a mass amount of people to hop on the crypto standard, not Bitcoin standard, but the crypto standard, whereby these guys maintain control of the situation.
Yep.
This is where that education is important. And they're doing everything to make it happen because it seems while they're doing this, the SEC seems to be acting as their bulldog, their watchdog, their enforcer, or however you like to call it.
Yep. Yes, talking about the SEC being the enforcer, being their tool, being their weapon. Yo, guys, Apecoin lovers, they're coming for Apecoin though. They're coming for Apecoin.
Right. So we see the SEC investigating Bored Ape. I like when they call it by the full name, man. Call it Bored Ape Yacht Club, man. That's the SEC investigating Bored Ape creator Yoga Labs over security violations. This is interesting. It seems there is now a trend, would you say, of people getting investigated?
Yeah. Madam Fine. What's her name? Kim K.
Madam Fine.
Madam Fine Girl.
Yes. Kim K.
Kim K.
Kim K. $1.26 million SEC fine.
But guess what though? She only paid $250. That's all she was required to pay. $256. She paid on time, so she only paid a quarter of it.
Oh, okay. I mean, I guess that's nice. I mean, it's what is the
connections, man? It's all about connection and network, man. You gotta kiss the right butts, you know.
The more money you make, man, I guess the more
you get away with,
the more invincible you are. Which I guess, you know, in some ways, we're all coming to this world free people, and if you can put yourself in the position where no one can mess with you, more power to you.
Yeah,
I'm not mad at it, but we're seeing the trend here. Tell us a little bit more, Double. What do you see as all of these things are coming together? If you could connect the dots, what would you say is the full picture you have in mind?
All right. So we have big tech adoption. That is very, very critical. As we know, big tech is one of America's biggest GDP provider, service provider.
Yeah.
In the tech space. We rule the world when it comes to that. And we don't want China anywhere next to it. China. So that is measure. Followed by banks. Finance rules the world. If banks are adopting, question is banks setting up to disrupt the space? Is banks setting up to make money? I think they're doing both. They do not want to be overtaken by this disruption because, like we said earlier, Strike, Cash App, all this Vimo took their money. They took their cookies and ran away with it. And they're not about to let blockchains do that to them. So they're catching on as well. But it goes to what you and I were discussing earlier. Are they going to try to kill Bitcoin, the biggest challenge?
Yeah.
Biggest competition? Or are they going to try to bring Ethereum-based blockchains to make a lot more money? What is the strategy? But I know for sure, if you're still on the sidelines thinking, this is not financial advice, this is all fraudulent, blah, blah, blah. They're going after Apecoin or they're going after Kim K. These are tools, distractions. Of course, there was no regulations, but now they want to come out with regulations. At the same time, increasing adoption. Don't sleep on this, people. Do not sleep on this. This is critical.
Yeah. I think you made some very good points there, especially when it comes to those regulations. It would seem that the logical steps would be to discuss regulations, right? Discuss the framework, propose that framework, have a general agreement between leadership and consumers, what the regulations are going to be around that space. And then at that point, you can start enforcing it.
Let us vote on it.
Yes.
Don't do it behind the back door.
How do you enforce something that
the people didn't vote for?
Regulations around, you know, when they say they're investigating people for fraud and so on and so forth, you cannot, in some ways, you cannot really call it fraud when, you know, there is no
never defined.
Now, I also see the flip side where we're saying that this is securities and their definition of securities as well. In that case, if we understand that it's security, then I think we know where the regulations should already be. So, do the regulations exist and they're violating securities law, or are there going to be new regulations being released?
White House facts. You saw what we read. We're going to talk about that in the next video.
Right.
If you haven't seen that video, check it out at the end of this video. But there's some serious facts. Just like we Just like we changed the definition of recession. There's now crypto facts.
You can always flip-flop words. Still trying to get a word in the dictionary. So if anybody knows a hookup for that, man.
STAKK, baby. That's the word coming in the dictionary.
STAKK in the dictionary.
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. What are your thoughts? Right? Because I think it is interesting how all of these things are happening simultaneously. There has to be an end goal. What do you think the crypto space will look like maybe by next year or the end of next year, maybe 2 years from now? What will be the outcomes of all of these things? We hope you guys connect the dots here as well. So, any final thoughts? Double O.
As always,
Yes.
if you've not liked, subscribed, give us your comment. We want to hear back from you guys.
We want to hear from you.
You know?
Absolutely, yes. All right. Well, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, praise and out.
Double O.